All right, so here we're going to look at actually finding the circumference of the entire tire. All right, I broke it down into steps um, so that you can kind of build up a routine and understand how you need to calculate this each time. So first, we would obviously start with the tire number. All right. So for this example, we're going to be using P180 that slash 60 R14. All right. So the first thing we need to do is find the width and the aspect ratio. All right. And as you can see, I kind of gave you a hint. All we got to do is just get that information from the number. So by now we should be used to it. So the width is going to be 180, and remember that's millimeters. And the aspect ratio for this one is going to be 60%. All right, and that's step one. So we just kind of read the tire number, pull that information out, and we move on to step two. So step two says we need to find the height of the sidewall. All right, and as you can see underneath, I reminded you how we're going to find that, as well as how to convert it into inches. All right, so we're going to take our width, 180. We're going to multiply it by the aspect ratio, which is 60%. So remember, 60% as a decimal will be 0.60. And if you actually wanted to type in 60% into your calculator, that would still give you the same number. Just don't do the percent and move the decimal. All right. So 180 times 60%, that equals 108. But remember, that 108 is in millimeters. So to change it to inches, we have to divide our answer there by 25.4. And that tells us that the sidewall height is going to be about 4.25 inches. All right. So the very top of the tire and the very bottom of the tire, that part's going to be 4.25 inches. All right. Now, now we need to find the diameter, or the actual height from top to bottom of the whole tire. So to do that, let's move that out of the way. To do that, we're going to add the two pieces of the sidewall as well as the wheel diameter, the diameter of the rim or the wheel. All right. And let's see, if I'm not mistaken, I just need to go back and look real quick. Okay. It was a 14-inch wheel. So what we're going to do is take that 4.25 inches, which is the top. Remember, we got another 4.25, that's the bottom. And then the diameter of the wheel was 14. All right, that's your middle of the tire. So remember, top plus bottom plus middle, or if you want to put it in order, that's fine. But we've got to add all of those to get the entire height or diameter of the tire. So if we add that all together, we will get 22.5 inches. So remember, if you had a tire, that's how tall it is from the very top to where it meets the ground. Alright? And then the last thing we do is how much distance is that all the way around the tire? So that tire turns completely one time. How far would that tire roll? All right, and to do that, we just got one more tiny calculation. We're going to multiply the diameter times pi. Now remember, pi is estimated as a decimal as 3 3.14. All right. You can actually hit your pi button. It's a lot longer decimal, but for what we're going to be doing, 3.14 is just fine. So you're going to do 3.14 times 22.5. And when you calculate that, that will give us the circumference in inches. So what that means is, if that tire was turned one time completely, it would go 70.65 inches. Now, just for a little trivial fact, that's almost 6 feet. So if a tire stands that tall and it rotates once, that could be, that's pretty close to being almost 6 feet. All right. So now that you have seen how to calculate the circumference of a tire, we're going to give you a little bit of practice with some familiar numbers. All right. So here we've got a few numbers for you to try to practice and find the circumference of those tires. Remember the 4 steps. Find the width and aspect ratio. Multiply those to get the sidewall height. End up getting the entire diameter of the tire, and then find the circumference. All right. So feel free to look back at your notes from earlier, but let's go ahead and give these 5 a try.